We've got 675 data tables, about 300 million records of cross-reference, and this is what basically a carrier profile is going to look like. It's going to have their information. This is our broker vetting scorecard here that basically grates them on risk, and you can actually come in here and see what our risk elements are and what we're actually looking at and how we grade these carriers and whether you should use them or not. And a lot of it's based on the crossover analysis, which you can see here. We're crossing over all these things: VINs, plates, officers, address, emails, plates, authority clusters, same session filings, same session filing by zip code, even if the companies aren't related, if they're in the same zip code, or you can span that out to other entities. You're looking at shipper data and who their common shippers are. That 90-day revocation risk analyzer, which looks at different things like insurance cycling. Basically, this is our risk score for them. Here, percentile ranking against their peers, equipment inspected and transferred, and commonality. Revocation history, whether voluntary or involuntary, SMS basic and ISS scores, reverse engineered from your data. These are treasury cards that are actually giving you a cleaner data element to showcase what elements are being showing commonality across the entities. These are vehicle transfers and who they've transferred to. You can search this for AI-enabled web intelligence. It'll actually scrape social media for their content. You can come here and click here and look at what that address actually looks like and if it's an actual building or if it's a trailer park or whatever it happens to be. We've got crash history here across all time if you want it. We've got violation history with ECFR built in here. It's automatically integrated. That violation history is also trending here, and you can actually see where they're trending up in certain areas. Based on that history, you can prioritize enforcement better than you historically have been able to. We've got enforcement cases on the record up here if they exist. We've got Illinois state-specific laws and regulations that are contrary to federal regulations if that happens to be applicable. Insurance history, current and history, PPP and EIDL loans automatically integrated. Corporate filings integrated from open corporates. Network and cross-reference intelligence again, but basically line item fraud risk composite scores and how we run that, which we'll talk about more in a minute. ELDT and ELD crossover. So if they're related to either one, we've got UC and EIN intelligence and federal litigation intelligence. Moving on to our officer network tool, Nestor Navia has 352 companies in his name. We're using this to cross-reference. This actually breaks these apart by different size clusters, depending on how closely they're related. Then you can come down here and actually break this down more if you want to do that. VIN and plate, what we can do is you can see right now this is running a set of plates. You can put in up to 2,000 VINs or plates in this system. It's cross-referencing them against all other VINs and plates in the system. You can see this plate right here has been used 19 times. Let's see who it's being shared with. All of these entities. All you have to do here is you can create a generative report or you can download the results. Coming here to investigative field reports, this is basically going to let you search by zip code, and it's going to show you all the commonality across all the entities in that zip code. So these convergent zip codes are hot. Laredo, Fresno, San Diego, Bakersfield, all the ones we typically understand. You can click on those zip codes if you want, and as it pulls, it's going to give you whoever this guy is, probably not the same guy. All these companies are in his name, but that's not the point because a lot of these are commonality. But there are clues here. So are they actually tied by more than one? Yes. Officer, address, phone, and authority. You can come down here and actually look at address for the same thing. Here you go. These are all addresses in that area, and you can look at this phone number is not only sharing a phone number, it's sharing officer, address, etc. Find a hot address. Here's 1500 Arthur Avenue. Not only does it share 6 different companies, all of these companies are clearly related. They're sharing officer, address, VIN, etc. Moving on, clone trucks. Multiplates, multi-states, one VIN. Cross-border risk model, Mexican, Canadian, and U.S. fleets. Cabotage, are they being violated or crashed inside the U.S., and how long are they staying there? Are they declaring one vehicle, but yet have 800 inspections with 675 VINs? That's this tool. That's also this tool where you can cross-reference these against each other. There's clearly a fleet mismatch here. You can also track them across the United States. One of the cool things about the difference between us and GenLogs is GenLogs doesn't always have a visual. We always have the data. Ghost Fleet Detector, same thing as what we just showed you. These are our driver exploitation leads. We compare hours of service data across other elements. Formation address clusters for BO3 ghost agents. We are building out the modus piece to this. We already have it in large part. You can actually search anybody you want in here, whether it's, I don't know if one's going to show up without. Yep, Amco. Same exact tools, but it's Modus data instead of Safer. Then we have our MCP connector, which is basically allowing you to say, hey, Claude, ChatGPT, whoever, get all the tools and to tell me everything about this company, and it's going to just walk you through like a typical chat and tell you everything about that company. So that's what we built. Crossover galore. It's there for you to solve all of the world's problems.